Hello, human peoples. You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. To support us and gain access to great exclusive podcasts like Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and our latest show, Spiel Boys, head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We do game streaming, movie nights with our patrons every Friday night, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want. Literally anything, within reason, and we have to do it. You are quite frankly out of excuses not to go visit patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hypecast mit Tom Reimann und David Bell.
Hello, everyone!
Hello!
Welcome to the episode of Hypecast!
Hypecast.
It's the show where we get hyped about stuff and things. I'm your co-host, Tom Ryman.
I'm your other co-host, David Bell.
And you guys remember me? I'm Video Drew Grant.
Hey, it's you!
Hey.
Drew, how are you?
I'm doing,
How's it
way better than the last time I was, I think, on this podcast. I was a little bit sick last time, but now I'm doing A-okay in the moment.
I'm glad.
Thank you.
No, I'm
glad you're feeling better.
I'm glad you're feeling better, but I'm also glad we got Loopy Drew as a guest.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was funny to try to listen to that back because I was like, I was like more chill, I think, than usual.
Right.
I was kind of like searching for a couple words, couple ideas there that, I generally, and it's been kind of hard. Like my memory's gone a little bit. So sometimes words are harder to come by and I am a little quieter, but that's how that goes.
No, I totally get that. I lose a little bit more each day. So I'm totally right there with you.
The other day I forgot about the part of your body that explodes sometime and makes you go to the doctors and they remove it. And
the
it's
appendix.
Yep.
The butt.
The butt,
Oh,
yes.
the appendix,
the,
yeah.
The butthole.
Took me 45 minutes. 45 minutes to come up with that word.
I went...
These things happen.
Yeah, I had like a 12-hour period where I couldn't remember Ed Harris's name.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's so sad.
That's so
It was back in
frustrating.
high school. It was frightening. It's a more frightening memory than the car accident I was in.
Right.
No, that's exactly what it is. The memory stuff is so scary because you're just like, oh no, am I dumb now? Am I dumb? Do I not know movie trivia? Am I dumb?
Right.
So the thing is I was T-boned by Ed Harris in that car accident, so I think that might have something to do with it.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
checks
That's
out.
fishy.
Yeah.
How do you remember who T-boned you?
It's a real catch-22, yeah. It's a real
That
inception.
Ed Harris, man, he'll get
Yeah.
you.
He will.
And that's why I get the tattoos to say, don't believe his lies.
Yeah.
Right.
With a drawing of
picture
Ed Harris's face.
Yeah. I want that tattoo so bad now because what's funny about it is that people would look at it and they'll be like, "That's the wrong actor, too."
Yeah.
like that. He's not even
not
in
in
that.
the
movie.
They'll
movie.
just think
Yeah.
that someone
Did
did
you-
a very bad Joey Pants tattoo.
Right, yeah. They just did
Yeah,
a drawing of Joe Pantoliano that was so wrong. It's a drawing of Ed Harris.
Or so right.
And then you're like, "No, it's Ed Harris,"
Right.
and they're like, "Ed Harris," and you're like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Was he in that?" It's like,
No.
"No,
No. Unrelated.
Yeah.
Unrelated.
unrelated."
Yeah, but if you have people asking that about that deep cut of a Nolan film, then like, you know what? Fuck them.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
fuck them. We're going to sell this as a t-shirt, Dave.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Don't believe his lies, and it's an Ed Harris.
Lies.
Yeah.
But we'll make
I love it.
We'll make it a drawing of Ed Harris from the what was it? Knight Riders, the motorcycle movie.
Oh.
Yeah, Knight Riders.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
we'll
that.
do that.
Yeah.
Incredible film.
We'll get one purchase by Ed Harris.
Yeah.
Who will be proudly wearing
You're
that.
going to get 20 purchases from PLD, one of the Schmodown scriptwriters who was so obsessed with Ed Harris, so obsessed that he made it an entire category and then turned it into 90% of the Schmodown finale, with just all Ed Harris questions. It was such a good troll. He will buy 100 other shirts.
Oh, that's pretty incredible.
I'm glad I'll buy 100 of the shirts.
Yeah, because no one else will.
I think
Just,
we sell
him and
4 of
Ed
them a
Harris.
year. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are underestimating the Harris verse.
I guess
Yeah.
we are.
Harris Hive.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see when that Harris hive activates. Dave, let's start the show. You want to start the show?
Let's thank some producers. We have some wonderful producers through our Patreon, and we would like to thank them, starting with a big thank you to Driftless, the negotiating Cenobite.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to Humbre says, Hail Ratma.
Hail Ratma.
Thank you to Heathcliff's Helping Handfuls.
Thank you.
Thank you to the conveniently placed self-destruct button on the top of every baby's head.
So convenient.
Thank you to James Cameron's Prolapse Locomotive. Speaking of Ed Harris.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you to Snapper Car Punches God in the Dick.
And how?
Thank you to @NerdNumbers.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mike the Lurker.
Thank you.
Thank you to Dracula the Bus-Driving Vampire.
Toot toot.
Thank you to Brockway Loves the Meat Millie.
He does.
Thank you to David, a knife boot on Elm Street, Henson. Thank you.
All right, let me swoop in here like a bat.
Yeah.
Thank you to Grumblebee.
Thank you.
Thank you to Screaming Horse Pyramid.
Thank you.
Thank you to Look Mom on a podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you to Jay the Crow Baron says, give us a crow emoji. # join the murder. Okay.
Thank you.
We can do that. We can make a crow emoji.
Yeah.
A crow emoji.
Cromoji, yeah.
Thank you to Deborah's awesome. Barbara's great and cancer can go to hell.
Thank you.
Thank you to Numino Ultra Microscopic Silico Volcanoconiosis Anti-Disestablishmentarianism Jones.
Thank you.
Thank you to Rosemary's Baby from Eraserhead.
Thank you.
Thank you to Chiz Killy Tits.
Thank you.
Thank you to these 7 Bs.
Thank you.
And thank you to Breezy Boo Easy.
Thank you. And once again, I will not change back your Halloween names unless you specifically ask me
They
to.
will remain spooky year-round.
Yep. Oh, right. So speaking of, I don't know, spooky, we have a trailer for Avatar, The Way of Water.
Bone chilling.
I posed this question, and I think this answers it, which was, what is Sigourney Weaver in this?
Right.
And it seems to revolve around their daughter, teen Sigourney Weaver, being like, I can feel her inside of me, and I assume she's talking about, what's her name, Grace?
Grace?
Yes.
Yeah.
Grace Weaver.
Okay.
Wait, really?
And
yeah.
I assume that's a plot point.
I mean,
Yes.
it has to be because at first I was like, oh, she's talking about the planet. Like the planet has a feeding
Right.
heartbeat. But why would they cast Sigourney Weaver, who does not sound like she's modulating her voice at all for this? It just sounds like Sigourney Weaver.
And it looks like it's supposed to look like her. That's the other thing.
Huh.
Yeah, the little critters like a reincarnation or a like a DNA slop version
Yeah.
of Sigourney.
That's interesting. I'm super curious about what this is actually about. Because are they just gonna do the humans again?
No, it looks like
Or
robots.
it's just Giovanni Ribisi comes back with a
Looks like
vengeance?
robots.
I assume so. Well, yeah, they had those robots in the Foist movie.
Oh.
Those little robot suits.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
There's also Stephen Lang's in this, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
And he super died.
He did.
So
Huh.
I think there's going to be a plot point about reincarnation in general.
Right, where
I think that's going to be a factor.
He's going to be an AI, probably. And Sigourney will be like this
Oh.
organic version of it.
Oh, you guys know why that works? Because you guys have heard the Avatar theory, right? The fan theory that Pandora is actually the Matrix. It's a sentient.
Jesus.
No, it's a sentient software or like hardware or whatever. It is when you plug in.
Oh, the planet is because they all plug into it.
And that's why
Yes.
the planet like has its own virus that can repel invaders.
No,
Yeah,
that makes sense, but I don't know that... I feel like we're supposed to pick that up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right. Tom, you're saying that he comes back as like human-made
Oh,
AI.
yeah.
Correct. Like an artificial, like AI.
I think
and
that's
then-
a theory, but
Yeah.
I also think there's a possibility that he will be in the planet. That he will be a villain that manifests
maybe.
the way Grace reincarnated. Because if you recall, they did plug her in, didn't
plugged
they?
her
They
in
tried to plug
to
her
save
in.
her.
They tried to plug her in.
They plugged her in, but
Okay.
they couldn't save her. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's a new mechanism at play where it's like it's the idea that Grace, the realization of like she's reincarnated, they realize like, oh shit, so is Stephen Lang for some reason. I don't know. There's a lot of ways to go with it. It's clear that James Cameron has found an interesting way to bring back the dead characters. Though.
It's like Terminator plus his favorite. Like this is all James Cameron's favorite things, right? It is Terminators.
Yeah.
It is Terminators, 3 kinds of them.
The
It
ocean.
is the ocean and space. He found a way to put space and the ocean together. Those are his favorite things in the world. 3 kinds of Terminators, 2 kinds of oceans, 1 kind of Pandora. It
and it's over 3 hours.
Okay.
I heard.
Do you kind of worry that Wakanda Forever is going to look at this and be like, "What the hell? Like we're doing the ocean thing. Like we're doing the Namor thing. You guys can't take like the flying on whales storyline."
Yeah, the trailers have similar imagery, but I think Wakanda Forever is going to be a better film, or a film that I personally like more. I think Avatar: The Way of Water is probably going to hilariously make billions and billions of dollars.
Of course.
Yeah.
You think so?
Because it's James Cameron.
Because the thing is, like, in retrospect, do people, like, with time being a factor here, do you think there's still a lot of Avatar stans? I guess there is. There are people who are, like, weirdly obsessed with it and the hair dragon thing, and, like, it's like a fetish.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
Here's what...
The fandom always seemed real quiet, but, like, the reason Avatar did so well is because it was such a huge hit worldwide. And I think probably the same thing is going to be true because Jim Cameron knows all of the blockbuster buttons to press.
Yeah, I also think people, myself included, criticize the timing on this of like, who needs this? And like, most adults are probably like, what the fuck? But when did the first Avatar come out?
2009.
No, 9. Jesus.
9.
Yeah. So if someone was, I don't know, 5 or 10 years old, that's their childhood. And this is coming out now. It's going to kind of, I think it is going to be kind of like how the Obi-Wan series, where they're like, we got back Hayden Christensen, and all these young people are like, yeah! And all the old people are like, why? I think it'll be that. I think there'll be a demographic of people who are going to be pumped because they grew up on this fucking movie.
Well, the other thing is that even with, like, people from, like, our generation that I talk to or see talking about Avatar online, whatever they say about it, it always ends with, I'm still going to see it.
Yeah.
So we're all going to watch this movie.
I mean, it took me...
That's the other thing.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, it looks pretty.
Yeah.
I'm going to take some mushrooms and chill out for 3 hours and go see
Dude,
it.
you have to give me your mushroom guy. No, I think that, have you guys been keeping up with the extended lore of Avatar, through the books, through the Na'vi land they have? Because Jenny Nicholson did a great video on the Na'vi land and how they all have to talk about the movie of Avatar as if it's like a documentary. Like they speak of the documentary.
Oh no!
And they all have their own thing. Yeah, Danny Nicholson has this great video. You guys should all check it out about the Pandora world. I forget if it's at Disney or it's somewhere, but one of the theme parks has it, and it sounds amazing. It sounds like they really do have some sort of extended lore, and I just wonder if we're going to need to tap
it's
in.
Animal Kingdom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I know about the animal, I've never gone because I haven't gone to Disney since I was little, and I want to go back. I really want to, but I heard that they had a really good animatronic, and then they replaced it with a fucking video, and that bums me out.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I know.
Do you think Michelle Rodriguez is going to be the person that cameos, and everyone's going to be like, yes?
I hope. That would be so cool. Didn't she super die?
Yeah, but so did Stephen Lang.
Right. She exploded, which is going to be harder to write into it.
Well, again...
But I hope.
If you get the idea that, wait, what is this? David Thewlis? What the heck? David Thewlis?
Is he in there? I know the Kate Winslet's in there.
Oh, it's because this is down the line. He's going to be somewhere in Avatar 4 and 5.
Jesus
or 5 and 6,
okay.
yeah.
Sure.
Well, of course, he's always kind of on call, David Thewlis.
Yeah.
I feel like
for any of these movies, when you need a British guy to throw in there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I want a Titanic reunion. I want Leo back. I want to see Leo show up in this.
You know what? Do you guys want to hear some surprise casting? Is this a spoiler just to show you who's going to be in this upcoming movie? To tell you some special names?
Who?
Cliff Curtis, Edie Falco,
yes,
Jermaine Clement.
Yes.
Jermaine Clement is going to be in this movie.
Very good.
Brendan Cowell. It looks like Kate Winslet will be in the 2022 version. I thought she was going to be in the next one. And it looks like the one after this is going to have Michelle Yeoh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Don't forget Vin Diesel's in there somewhere.
Really? I don't see him.
Yes, he is.
I don't see him. Really? He's in there? Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's going to be a whole thing.
This is out of control. I officially have Avatar fever, folks.
This is the first trailer that's made me be like, okay, like now I'm like excited to see this movie.
Yeah, same here, because this looks kind of cool and epic and shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The others...
And like...
Oh, go ahead.
I'm just excited to see where the story's going to go. Because like you said, like, there also seems to be something where they're at war with like, or they're fighting with other Na'vi. Because like he's an outsider, like, you know, I'm just really interested to see what
he's a weird freak.
He's a weird freak.
Yeah.
And like the whole Matrix storyline, I really want to see that be something that's dealt with. Yeah. Like when did they start going on? Can they breathe underwater? Is that a thing about them now? Is that always been?
It doesn't look like it. I don't know. It's weird that he makes sperm, right? Because like they just built him. Mm-hmm. He's like a synthetic creature. Mm-hmm. It's fucked up.
I don't know, man.
Is that?
But good for him, I guess.
Is it fucked up? Are you saying for robots to be able to mate with Na'vi?
Well, he's like an organic robot. It's just he's terrifying. Yeah. When you think about him, he's terrifying.
Mm-hmm. 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 And if you play it through the Pocahontas lens, it's even weirder still. Because like I watched Pocahontas again recently. Disney version, not to get off track, is just really weird. It ends up with him leaving. John Smith just going, bye, see ya. And this is the opposite. That this is just him being like, no, I'm going to stay here forever and be as...
Yeah, he's just like, fuck it.
I do love that Pocahontas ends with John Smith leaving, and it's like, well, that's what happened in history. I'm like, you're concerned about history now?
But that isn't what happened in history. That is also just not what happened. He took her back, and it wasn't even him. It was some other guy.
John Rolfe took her back.
Yeah.
Not John Smith.
Exactly.
He fucked off.
Yeah. No, he didn't even know her until she was already famous back in London. That's the working theory.
Huh. I mean, maybe know you guys knew so much about Pocahontas.
I'm doing an Australian.
I mean, I know what you learn in school.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, this I don't know. I've been very cynical about this one, but like I feel like since this first was announced, and there was the cynicism of like this will never happen, but now that it's here, and now that I'm just exhausted with other blockbusters, I'm like, yeah, give me Avatar. Yeah, I could go for an Avatar now.
Give me a James Cameron,
yeah. Yeah, exactly. All right. Next trailer is for A Christmas Story Christmas. We had the teaser for this. This is the trailer.
Yeah.
What are you guys' thoughts on this?
I don't get, and I apologize, because maybe it's because I'm Jewish or whatever, but I never understood the appeal of A Christmas Story. I don't understand how it's a comedy. Like, I don't understand anything about it. Like, it is like watching a foreign alien species trying to, like, give me their most funny movie or something.
I'm trying to think of an equivalent, because there's a lot of comedies about Jewish families, I feel like.
Yeah, I guess maybe like a Woody Allen something, but, like, it just seems so, it seems so foreign to me.
Right. It's sort of foreign to me, too, because we talked about last time, this is kind of a boomer era comedy.
Yeah.
The original. And it's kind of like, it's like The Sandlot is the same place, where it's like a nostalgic coming of age about a life that I personally never really had, where it's like, oh, we all went and played baseball. And I'm like, nope, I don't know that.
Didn't do that.
Yeah, but it's in that area where it's like, you can recognize a little bit from it of childhood. But I really think it was us kind of growing up with our parents showing us it.
Yeah.
Because it was more... And it seems like this is going to be more about our childhood, the 80s. Mm-hmm. I guess what I want to say is, for this existing, I think they're doing the right thing based on this trailer. Does that make sense?
Maybe,
Like, this looks cute. It looks fine.
Yeah, it looks like they've brought as many people back as are still alive. And that's nice.
There's some cheesy callbacks, but it looks for the most part like they're trying to make a new story.
The best part about this trailer is absolutely when he looks at that picture of his dead dad and the ghostly voice goes, fragile. And I was like, that's a comment. That's funny. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be, but it's the funniest thing I've ever seen happen in the Christmas Story verse.
Yeah. What I would say is the humor is about the same as the original, is I guess what I'm trying to say, where it's like, this feels like a sequel. It doesn't feel like they modernized it in a weird way. I don't
Question. God, I just had it for a second. What is his voice doing? Because his voice in the original, that guy was a kid. So how is his voice now that he's an adult, like the voice in his head, the narrator voice, still the same voice as when he was a kid, but also not his voice currently? Is there a point in the future where his voice...
Is it not his voice currently?
No, that's 100% his voice.
It's his voice?
Okay.
He just grew up to have the same exact voice as the narrator? From the original?
No, the narrator voice is different. The narrator of the original movie has been dead for decades.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, but the narrator in the original is supposed to be him as an adult.
Yeah.
Right.
So his voice should sound similar.
It sounds
should sound like that
to
guy, yeah.
the narrator,
But it doesn't.
Oh, no, really?
Because he grew up.
Oh, I thought it sounded I thought the narrator voice in this trailer sounded exactly like the voice from the original, and I was like, how is that possible? Like,
it doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't at all,
okay.
Drew.
Okay, then you know what?
Oh, I
Screw
don't.
me.
I was in the same place where it felt like it was like I was like that. I don't remember the voice, but it just sounded like it could have been.
Sounds right.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds fine. Like I have seen this movie probably 50 times, the original movie,
Weird.
just because it was a Christmas tradition at my house.
Mm-hmm.
Because my dad grew up in the Midwest in like the 50s and 60s, so like Christmas Story is like about his childhood. So we watched this movie constantly. So I just have a much more clearly formed memory of the original movie in my head, I guess.
It's funny that he says my dad used to make Christmas look easy while he's like messing with a tree. And I'm like, really? I thought the point of the movie was that, like, the original movie was that his dad was like a Griswold almost. Like, he did not make it look easy.
His dad's not a Griswold. He's just he's like absent for most of the movie. Like the whole like thread of the original movie is that he wants this Red Ryder BB gun, but he's too afraid to ask his dad for it, and his dad is the one who gets it for him in the end. But like the rest of his dad's barely there for the movie. So
he buys the lamp.
He's like he gets that lamp. He wins it in this. Anyway, it's so like. But you're right that it like doesn't add up and really match up to the original film, because like the original movie, his dad is just this stereotypical angry like 40s blue collar dad.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not making the holiday look easy. He's barely paying attention to the holiday.
Right.
It is fascinating to me. I thought the kid shot his eye out. That's the other thing. I was like, where did his eye go? How did he get it back? I guess.
Oh no, it hits his glasses and he breaks his glasses.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that I don't like Christmas movies. Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, first Home Alone really spoke to me. But there is a large swath of Christmas movies that I just don't get. This movie I like. It seems a little bit meaner. I guess when you're an adult, like the meaner comedy kind of works. Like the idea of like him being taunted and like having like a McFly almost like moment. That works. It works less well for me when it's just children being cruel to each other, because that's just children being psychopathic the way they are.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So,
the way they are, yeah.
Yeah.
I am curious if that's the part of the message will be that he remembers his old Christmas as being more magical.
Yes.
And it's about like that line about my dad made it look easy. I wonder if the moral will be like, no, he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't easy. In like kind of like, yeah, you go back and watch that movie. It's a nightmare, and it's a nightmare now. And when you're an adult, Christmas just doesn't. It does lose a degree of that magic. And maybe it's about that. And that would, I think, be a really interesting sequel.
Mm-hmm.
That would be an interesting Christmas movie, period. But yeah.
What if it turns out that a lot of the first movie was a lie? We are just seeing it from his perspective. And he like asks, okay, what about like the BB gun thing? And his mom's like, your dad never got you a BB gun. Like, it just turns out like a lot. Right. It was just a lot of it was just like false memory of him like having a traumatized childhood. Right. That's what I want to see. I'm not sure if that's the direction, but
yeah, that would be cool. Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of cool things they could do with this, and I don't know. I kind of it's interesting is that like, yeah, this could be a cynical cash grab, but there are things to do with this as a sequel, and they might do those things because it's not hard to make this matter. So I don't know. I hope they do.
Yeah.
I hope it's not just remember these jokes.
Who's the guy that plays his friend that looks like he's Tim Blake Nelson, but like somehow de-ageified Tim Blake Nelson? He's the one who's going down the slide. Is that somebody from the original?
I
that's.
I assume he's in the original.
Yeah, that's Schwartz from the original. I don't think that actor has... I mean, I assume it's the same actor because a lot of the other kids are in there and he looks the same. So it's just a guy that looked like Tim Blake Nelson when he was a kid.
Perfect.
And now he looks like Tim Blake Nelson as a man.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Weird. All right. Another trailer. Disenchanted. This is a sequel to, I believe, Enchanted.
Enchanted, yeah. And not the
Which I
Matt
never
Groening series.
Yeah.
Have you guys not seen
I
it?
never saw.
Oh,
No,
I've seen.
I heard.
I've seen Enchanted.
It's good.
I've heard nothing but good things.
And
yeah.
It's really good.
And the sequel, can I be honest? Can I be honest, guys, for a second? The sequel
Please.
looks really, really the sequel looks... I want to fall short of saying it looks incredible, but the twist about her being like the evil stepmother and the sort of themes it seems to be dealing with, which is like, as you grow, you either die a hero, you live long enough to become the evil stepmother. We've got my friend Griffin Newman is playing that little squirrel that turns into the evil cat. I guess that's going to be dope.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
He's great. I mean, just the whole thing looks like it has a really kind of like good beat on what a modern fairy tale is. Like the first one was like subverting traditional norms, but in a very kind of safe way. You know, being like, women can be princesses, but also go off and do their own thing in the real world. But like, this is like, no, then they get corrupted and they get into a fight with like the HOA administration of their building or their neighborhood. And it just feels really good to me to watch that kind of like Cruellification of Amy Adams. Mm-hmm. It's time for her to get that kind of role.
Yeah, it's also Amy Adams. So like, there's a level of quality you'll always get with her, right?
Mm-hmm. Usually. The woman in the window, not so much.
Yeah.
But
she's good in it.
Yeah, she's fine in it.
The movie sucks.
But like Enchanted was really fun. It is a little safe, but I do appreciate that it goes as far as it does when it's like making fun of all the Disney princess tropes. Mm-hmm. That was a lot of fun. Right. And this is like from what this trailer is showing us, like this is a really, really good idea for a sequel to that movie.
Yes. It's just a really good idea, period. But specifically a sequel to that movie, like in terms of the character, like yes, please, 100 times over. It's very Sondheim Into the Woods, to make a dorky reference, but like the idea that the first act is about all these fairy tale characters kind of intermingling and coming up with, you know, ways to solve problems, and it's very like, it's good, but it's, you know, it's just a fairy tale. And the second one is like, what if the narrator gets eaten by a giant and suddenly they have no idea like how their story is supposed to go, and they start killing people, and they have to grapple with like the ramifications of like who they are as people when the story that they tell themselves is no longer true, is no longer right. It seems like it's got something to say to kids, which I appreciate.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I will have to watch that.
Mm-hmm.
You should watch the original, man. Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I heard nothing but good things. Like my parents or my mom really liked it, and like this. Yeah, it seems like this has a really good reason to exist. Mm-hmm. I'm into it. It just passed me by, you know? Mm-hmm. It's like one of those where it's like, when am I going to sit down and watch Enchanted?
You know what?
Yeah, it was like late aughts, so it was like a weird time for me. Mm-hmm. So I assume it was a similarly weird time for you.
Yeah, I watched a lot of movies throughout my whole life, but it's just one that passed me by.
Susan Sarandon's in the first one. Very good.
She is. She's the evil queen. Not in this one. Mm-hmm. Good reason why.
Maya Rudolph.
I assume. Yeah.
Oh wait, what?
Yeah, that's Maya Rudolph.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she gets killed in the original. Does she
yeah.
Yeah, one assumes she does.
Does she? I think so. Right? Is there murder, or is it still like banished? But I can't remember.
She turns into a big dragon. I assumed she. I think so. Mm-hmm. I need to watch it again.
All right. If they truly wanted to parody Disney, she would have to die in a horrible way. Right? Because Disney loves doing that. Just like throwing away these grisly deaths.
Yeah. Yeah. Like when...
That's their jam.
Clayton gets hung by his neck in Tarzan.
Yeah. It's like, Jesus! Yeah. I love that era of Disney where they're like, yeah, fuck them.
Yeah.
Like, these days, kids' movies are like, oh, nobody's really a bad guy. And like, our generation of Disney was like, you're going to see this lion get torn apart alive.
Yeah, and our parents' generation of Disney was just just decimate. Just burned, scorched earth. Ursula is just we had Ursula, like, and she had to get like what's it called?
She gets a boat. She gets a boat through her stomach.
She gets Jaws the Revenge.
But
Sure
the Sleeping Beauty one, she turns into a dragon and gets demolished. I mean, it is violent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
Disenchanted. Coming soon to Disney Plus. All right.
Yep. All right. Well, let's talk about this next one. Circuit Breakers.
I guess.
This is an Apple TV anthology series. It's Black Mirror for kids.
Okay, because this trailer is indecipherable. Like, I was like, what is this show?
It's like
it's a bunch of stories.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's like, so it's episodic anthology, which is no big deal. That's when you do it episode by episode instead of seasonal anthology, like an American Horror Story. Just my big contribution to this concept. Did we need a Black Mirror for kids? Don't kids inherently understand? They're growing up in a world right now that like inherently understands that it's all dystopic.
I was gonna say, kids are probably the least good demographic to do a Black Mirror for, because they're just like, whatever, man, I'm 10 steps ahead of you. Like, that's one of the things I remember at Cracked. We learned we would try to do articles about tech and invasion of privacy, and we just realized no one cares anymore.
Yeah, the kids
like the older people
care.
were like, older people were like, this is dystopian, and young people are like, this is just the life I was born into. I don't give a shit. Yeah, Apple knows literally everything about me. It's fine.
They're like,
So like, I also think like, I don't know, man. Writing for this would be a challenge for that reason, but also like, adults won't want to watch this, right? Like if I watch a horror thing for kids, it's fun because there's like a nostalgia and you're like, oh, maybe it's spooky and maybe it's well done. This, it's just like, what if your parents were robots? And I'm like,
What if you could get like a chip in your head that made you taller?
Right. And it's just like, I guess. Like,
it's going to seem like advertising.
Like, but it goes wrong. And it's like, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're like, they're on TikTok. They understand that it's like China spying on them through like their GPS and locations. Like, they understand that they could die from doing a TikTok challenge, or that their privacy could be like, or their information could be leaked and nudes could show up on the internet, or deep fakes. Like, these kids understand implicitly that they're growing up with every technology that they use on a daily basis could come back and like destroy their lives. I don't know what the scary part of that is. It's just gonna be like a documentary. It's gonna be like a product placement for them.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be for like really young kids, maybe. Like
it kind of looks like it.
Oh, so it's like
it's gonna have to be kids that are like young enough to not be cynical yet about technology.
Oh, is it like a PSA? Is this like their version of the Dare like after school specials? Like, kids, stay away from technology.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
Stay away from TikTok, kids. It says McGriff the crime dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, look, there's a reason that after 2017 or 2018, Charlie Brooker was like, I can't do Black Mirror anymore. He's like, it's just not even fun. He's like, we're already living in the tech dystopia. Or maybe it was right during COVID. He was like, this is
beyond parody.
Yeah, it's like beyond parody. We've already hit like the place where any of this would be funny or scary because we have gone beyond like even the Rubicon that I would have created like for this.
Yeah. Also, the show is repeating itself, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
But it should be noted the creator of this show has been in TV since the 90s, children's TV. Rugrats episodes, the Pink Panther episodes, Stuart Little.
The movie?
Fucking... no, apparently that was a TV series.
As I say, that's nice.
R.L. Stein's The Haunting Hour.
Hell yeah.
Which means they probably know how to make something for kids, but I do think there's like an inherent, like it almost doesn't matter who makes this because of what we're saying, you know?
Can I recommend a better version of this? Go watch the new Are You Afraid of the Dark on Paramount Plus. They rebooted that. That show that knew exactly what it was doing. It actually is like a good show.
I watched some of the original recently. It's still kind of fucks.
It's still kind of fucks.
Like,
they changed this. So now it's not an episodic anthology of the new show. It's just it's seasonal anthology. And it also fucks. I had an Are You Afraid of the Dark themed birthday party when I was like, I'd say like 11 or 12. We got like permission.
Hell yeah.
We got permission from like the fire marshal to build like a bonfire in my backyard. We decorated.
Drew?
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I did.
Yes, you did.
We decorated our somewhat finished basement in Newark, Delaware with a bunch of scary, spooky things written on the wall that were way too intense for like a 10 or 11-year-old kids. And then we never got rid of it. That was just our basement for the rest of the time that we lived there. Just blood.
Perfect, yeah.
Blood, like, whatever. And then in the middle of the night, I'll never forget this because how could you? We were sleeping out in tents in our backyard and we just hear this, I love you, you love me. And this kind of like weird shuffling noises outside our tent. And I get out and it's a giant full-size Barney just kind of like scratching at our tent. And we bum rush him and we knock him to the ground and we are, me and my friends. Turned out to be my father. He had rented a full-size Barney outfit to just try to creep us out, I guess. But he couldn't return it for...
Did it work?
Yeah, not really. He couldn't return it because we had destroyed the outfit. We tore it to shreds.
That is on him.
Yeah. I mean, that was a dangerous game he was playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We rushed towards the danger, I think, which I think says something very interesting about me in my childhood. But yeah, that's for the listeners to decide.
So you had good friends.
Yeah.
You had good friends.
Yeah. Didn't even think about it. Just ran towards it and just started destroying it.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. That mentality. Seeing some creepy thing, you're like, nope, fuck that. Let's stomp it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also had
that's what you do.
Also, I broke my friend Doug's arm because he was dressed up in the Scream mask and chased me around somewhere, and I didn't know who was chasing me. And went up a treehouse, kicked him like face in the face, and he fell off and broke his arm.
Starting to see a pattern.
That's
here.
on Doug.
Yeah, it is.
That is on Doug.
Yeah.
Don't creep me out, people.
I mean, listen, that's how they killed it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
They just finally decided, fuck that thing, and stomped his ass out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do I didn't do a diss battle beforehand. I didn't give a lot of like, you're ugly. And you're
Right.
I didn't make him feel small through words. Shit. But yeah. It was interesting.
You didn't need to. You just needed to break his arm.
You made him feel small by kicking him out of a treehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My childhood was childhood was marred with the kind of violence that I always thought that I was getting bullied, but looking back, I think I might have been a bad kid. I think I might have hurt a lot of people.
This is the 30 Rock thing where she thought she was bullied, and then it turns out she was the bully.
Yeah. Marina has a lot of stories like that.
Yeah,
where it's all stories of her beating the shit out of people, and I'm like, I'm not sure you were bullied.
I knocked this kid's teeth out. I had a crush on this kid. I knocked his teeth out at the water fountain. Like and that's the second time I knocked somebody's teeth out in my childhood. Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like you. It sounds like it's you.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's you.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
sounds
weird.
like Doug was trying to be a hero. I'm finally going to be the one who scares Drew.
Yeah.
Nope.
Right. I'll be the one to take her out, you know?
Huh.
The nightmare will be over.
Huh.
Like when they...
I'm waiting for you to be like, come to think of it, I was the one chasing him.
Well, I was. I
was wearing the Scream mask.
And it was a real knife, and I was trying to kill
yes,
him.
I did do a lot of running around with knives, but it wasn't in the Scream mask. I would just put one of those metal bowls on my head and start singing that beginning of the Lion King song. Like, but then, and I would just turn off all the lights and like in my own home and run around and try to get my friends with it.
I have a question. How many gerbils did you burn through as a kid?
Burn?
Do you recall?
Burn only like 2. The rest of them kind of had met other types of fates. But mostly it was...
Wait, you only personally killed 2? Is that what you're saying?
No, I said only 2 burned, David. Only 2 burned. I believe that was...
Lit on fire.
I only said 2 burned. The rest were fed to our 3 snakes.
By who?
By the family. It was a family thing. You had to get the snakes to eat the mice and the rats. So, not the gerbils.
Okay.
Yeah.
That paints a picture. Thank you for that. We should probably talk about this next one.
Yeah, go ahead.
We should move on.
Cool. My sister had a snake growing up. It's cool.
It's cool.
You give it fish. It would eat the fish.
It's a cool thing to have, and it made me a cool, popular girl. There's nothing you can say that would tell me any different.
No. That makes sense. The Eternal Daughter is the next trailer.
Oh, so good.
This is A24. This is like a spooky fucking trailer. I don't know why they needed Tilda Swinton to fucking Eddie Murphy this, but
I imagine the title and the subject matter will have something to do with that.
Yeah, you're right. She plays her mother and daughter. It was just like, I guess what I'm saying is that distracted me a little bit, because I think this is just cool and spooky on its own. Like, this trailer really spoke to me.
Wait, I think you're right. I think I actually missed what was happening in the trailer because I was so focused on the fact that they just did like Tilda Swinton and Men, but it's just all Tilda Swinton. Like, it's that Alex Garland movie, but it's just everyone's Tilda Swinton, and that's just very creepy.
I want to see that movie now.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
just Men, but with Tilda Swinton.
Well, because that's also A24, and it's like that plus, Suspiria, where she played 3 characters, including an old man. I was just like, is there any better dynamic duo in Hollywood than Tilda Swinton and Tilda Swinton? Yeah. Perfect film. But what was the actual plot? I missed it.
It's like a fucking haunted house. It's Joanna Hogg, who has done some indie stuff. It's they're in like what looks like Bly Manor from the Bly Manor series. Like, for people listening, like, you can imagine that, a fucking haunted house. But I guess it's a hotel, and it just says a once grand manor that has become a nearly vacant hotel brimming with mystery. And like, I don't know, this looks fucking. My guess is that there won't be a single goddamn ghost in this. But
no, it's going to be all
into
psychological.
it. Yeah, but I'm still super into it. The shots are so fucking spooky. These foggy shots on the fucking grass outside, and like a goddamn gargoyle on the roof. It just, I don't know, man. I love the vibes of this.
I worry that it is a Men. You guys saw Men, right? Like, it's just all like going to devolve into allegory, and there won't even be like a story. There won't even be a there, you know?
Right.
You know,
there was a there with Men. In fairness.
Sure, but like the end of it just completely like fell apart like a fat souffle.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm just there's a physical entity in Men.
Wait, you think
in
so?
In fairness to Men.
Oh yeah.
Oh right, because the end, you see the blood, and that's true. But it also was just very much about like her psyche and her thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of other things. Yeah. No, I agree though that I think this will be. It's entirely possible. That it won't have shit, but it does say in the synopsis that it is a ghost story.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering if it's a ghost story the way like Personal Shopper is a ghost story, where like when there is ghosts, it's just like, damn, but it's just not in it that often.
The ghosts are, what I'm hearing from you is like the ghosts are either incidental or like unnecessary. They're just sort of like incidental ghosts. They're just around. They don't really have that much to do with.
I don't know.
Like, well, in Personal Shopper, it's like the ghost is there, but it's also like not like. It's not really. I think
necessarily
it's
about the
no.
ghost,
It's just a MacGuffin, like that. It's like a little bit of a thing. The Innkeepers is like that too. The ghosts exist, but they're not really the thrust of the movie.
I'll say that the ghosts do matter in Personal Shopper.
They matter,
but yeah, I think we're dancing around the idea. I don't know. The point is for me is that just in the trailer, stuff like that zoom in shot in the trailer, that's like old school horror techniques. Like, this looks like it was shot like a 70s horror or a 60s horror. And I'm super into that vibe. So I don't know. I think there'll be ghosts in it. I think it'll be about a lot more than that too.
I assumed it was going to be metaphorical ghosts. Like, this is just a mother whose daughter died, or vice versa, who is like, who's working out some shit in her head. But it could also be like, I'm not sure if you guys saw that Irish one called Dark Song. It's a really good movie about grief and loss.
Dark Song.
Yeah.
Fuck, I might have seen it.
It's about the woman who hires the a guy to do a reverse exorcism? To summon a demon, basically, that will grant her one wish. But they have to do this weird ritual.
Fuck! A Dark Song. Shit, I saw that so long ago.
Really good. Real good movie.
No, I've never seen it, yeah.
Yeah. So
I think this is going to be kind of like the others.
Oh.
That would be cool.
Well, like sort of like what Drew was saying, where like it's the daughter has actually been dead for a long time, and this is like a version of like what the mom is it's somehow connected to this place, and that's why the mom keeps checking into this place. That's sort of the vibe that I was getting, but I did really dig the trailer for all the reasons Dave was talking about.
Yeah, I think
it just looks real good.
Yeah, I think that would be a good twist too, is that like we know one of them's dead, but everyone's going to assume it's the mom who's died because she's old, and like this is a grief of a daughter, but no, it's the grief of the mother. That's a good twist on it.
Yeah, I'm desperately going through reviews to see if any of them say there is a ghost.
I think the title would work for either.
It was
as well. Like
Yeah.
if either the mom or the daughter is dead, the title still works. Of course, it could be neither of those things. And don't need to try to predict the movie. It just looks nice and spooky.
What is the what's the director name?
What I'll say is that there's a lot of reviews that are referring to it as a ghost story. Joanna Hogg is her name, I believe.
I mean, it could be a ghost story. I mean, a ghost story was about a ghost, but it was also very much a psychological, exploration.
Yeah, that was a different type of ghost story. Yeah,
that's good to know.
That would be neat.
I mean, this looks great. I just think it's really funny that A24 has found their niche. It's not only just an aesthetic now; it's certain actors. They're just do the thing,
right?
Where it's all played by Tilda Swinton, and it looks like it looks like a set.
I do want men, but it's Tilda Swinton.
Yeah.
And by name, where it's everybody in this town is Tilda Swinton.
Well, I want that tagline to be "Yes, all Tilda."
It's the movie's just called Tilda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Oh my
god. Next trailer. Lamborghini, the man behind the legend, with Frank Grillo.
With Frank Grillo.
Oh my god.
Frank Grillo doing acting.
Yeah, he's acting.
Oh, that's who that was.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's Mr. Purge? It's the Purge man?
It's the Purge guy, yeah.
It's Mr. Purge,
Oh
Dr. Purge.
God.
It's Crossbones himself.
And Gabriel Byrne also.
Wait, oh my god. It's Mr. Purge and Mr. Burns. I love it.
Yeah.
You guys know that there's already a movie coming out about Ferrari, right? With Adam Driver doing another Italian accent role.
Wasn't there also Ford versus Ferrari?
There was. So
that's an extremely different story.
Okay. This isn't me. This isn't the movie. My eyes glaze over the moment any movie is this is about cars and inventing cars.
Yeah.
And I'm unless it's got Vin Diesel surfing a car, I'm not into it. I'm sorry. And again, it's just because I'm not a car person.
Well, it's not only that. It's like the idea of these men and their egos being staked to the cars, and this important moment in American history about luxury vehicles. It also has that
right.
Yeah, the idea of this Italiano extended universe thing where it's it's the Gucci thing, and now I guess Driver's just going to go whole hog on that.
Right.
Or just
the Gucci thing was look at these rich fucks and their weird drama. That's the thing is I don't know from sports, but I can get into a sports movie if it's telling a good dramatic story. With this, it's always who can build the better car, and that seems to be it. And I'm I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Who can build the better car? Give me something juicy, Give me a actual human story.
What year is this going to come out? Is this next year?
Yeah.
Because that'd be really funny if it's the volcano movie kind of thing or the meteor movie kind of thing. But this is just going to be the Ferrari movie where it's the Adam Driver one comes out the same year as this one.
Yeah, Ferrari is Adam Driver. I'm looking this up, and he plays the same. He plays Gabriel Byrne.
Yeah, Mr. Ferrari, which is really funny. That was somebody's name.
Enzo Ferrari.
Enzo Ferrari. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's the name of one of the cars too. The Enzo.
The other guy's last name is Lamborghini. So
isn't it also the same as All the Money in the World? Wasn't there 2 movies that year that had to do with the Getty kidnapping?
I think one of them was a show that had Brendan Fraser.
That's
in it.
right. That's right. Yes.
So nothing against the one we're currently talking about, but the Adam Driver Ferrari is directed by Michael Mann. So
that's going to be way better.
That one's probably going to have more of the hype around it.
Who directed this one? The other one we're talking about?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Bobby Morsco. He looks like a soprano. Let's see, what has he done?
I just want to.
And again, nothing against this film. He did Colin Quinn, Red State, Blue State, a TV movie.
The trailer itself, I don't have the same aversion to car movies, just because my stepdad was a car guy, so I kind of grew up with a lot of stuff. I'd similarly be really fascinated by a movie about Fender or something. But my issue with this trailer is something that you guys have already touched on, where it's it's kind of hard to get invested in the stakes of this movie because it is really just a guy. The stakes are his ego.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
it's like two rich guys.
Yeah, so it's I mean, I don't know that. I mean, he obviously probably must be rich to embark on this endeavor.
Mr. Ferrari, yeah, he's super rich.
No, Mr. Lamborghini.
Oh, Mr. Lamborghini, yeah, it feels like he's also that's his name too. That's just their names.
Of course it is.
It's so silly. It's like they named Mr. Tesla or something. It's so fucking funny.
Well, I mean, Ford was Henry Ford's name. I mean, all these guys slap their fucking names on everything because it's all about an ego.
How
so
cool would it be? Yeah.
Right. I'm honestly surprised that people aren't driving around in Musks.
Yeah. Well, it's because he didn't create the company. That's why. He didn't create the...
Yep.
Right. That's why.
Yep.
Yeah. But, I wouldn't put it past him to change the name.
Yeah, it's weird that we didn't name the spaceships like the Bezos or the Musk. You can name your giant penis-shaped spaceship that.
I guess it's gone out of style or something. I don't know.
Look for next Twitter verified. You don't get a blue check mark. You get a Musk.
A Muskie.
Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah.
So back to this trailer. Yeah. It's... nothing against the movie. The movie looks perfectly competent. The performances all look fine. You got Mira Sorvino running around in there. It's nice to see her again. It's just, it's hard for me to get emotionally invested in this because all the trailer is conveying to me is that the stakes are just his ego. So it's well, why do I care?
Yeah, did someone die?
Yeah.
Because that's what I didn't know about the spoiler alert, I guess, for the Gucci movie. I didn't know someone got murdered in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like,
if you don't know, that comes out of nowhere. Where you're like, wait, this is a true story.
Yeah, and I'm obsessed with the idea that you watched that movie and didn't know about that.
Well, I just thought it was I just thought it was a rich family doing their rich dick shit. I thought it was Jared Leto doing his greatest Joker performance to date.
Oh my god!
Oh my
Jared Leto on that movie.
God.
So how? I wish I could have seen you see the murder happen.
Oh,
because if you don't know that that's the story, the movie leading up to that must have been just nonsense.
Well, can I tell you something? Would it change anything to find out that I didn't actually see the murder because I went to the bathroom and I came back and then my boyfriend had to turn to me and he goes, So what happened?
So the biggest thing in the movie just happened.
He's like, I was like, no, you're fucking with me. And he was like, no, he gets shot.
So she had him killed.
And I was in the bathroom for a hot minute, so I'd missed quite a substantial thing that I guess the whole
incredible.
So I came back, I think, after watching them in a chateau and they were fighting, and I come back and there's I heard about that. I was like, are you sure? You sure it was her?
That's going into Titanic, not knowing the story and missing the part where it sinks.
It's not nearly as famous of a story, but
yeah. Oh no, I didn't know until the trailers, and then I looked into it, and I was like, that motherfucker died.
Yeah, it had a malignant level hard left for me. I would put it that way, a malignant level hard left, where you're just sorry, what is this movie now? What happened?
Yeah. It's some Book of Henry's shit.
Yes, yeah.
Oh my god,
Book of Henry shit.
Book of Henry.
Oh my god. God.
Well, I feel like we talked all we need to about Lamborghini. I got to talk about this next one, Troll. Now, have either of you seen The Wave?
No. Or the other one he did.
He didn't. I don't think he did The Quake, which is the sequel to The Wave.
I think he did. I think it said that in the thing. It was
I thought it was the same dude. Yeah.
Is it? Let me double check. He's Norwegian Roland Emmerich. I couldn't even begin. His first name is Roar, Roar, because they just do everything better.
Right. I'm sure.
He didn't direct The Wave. He did direct Tomb Raider.
Yeah, that's right. That's
2018.
Right. Wait, what is Roland Emmerich? I thought he was the Norwegian Nolan. I thought Roland Emmerich was already from that area.
Oh, he might be.
No, I don't think so.
No?
Well, maybe he is.
Uthrog?
I thought he was German.
Roland Uthrog is this guy's name. The Wave is really good because what makes The Wave really, really good is that it's the combination of being a disaster film, but also Norwegian and foreign and scaled down, if that makes sense. Where it's basically it's about a town that's next to a holy shit, lake. I was trying to think of the word for lake.
Oh, see, my thing is catching.
Yeah. And a giant piece of mountain falls into the lake and creates a tsunami that hits the town. And that's it. Mm-hmm. Nothing else happens. Mm-hmm. And so, by the standards of today's disaster films, it's really? That's it? And half of the movie is like the guy finding out that this is going to happen, and then the other half is just the aftermath. But what you realize is that that's a lot of drama.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's the thing, is that like we've gotten to this point where we do like tons of fucking disaster movies where it's just ridiculous and over the top. The Wave was just like, no, just this one wave is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And it just follows the people dealing with the one wave.
Yeah.
And it's really fucking good and intense because it's just like people trapped and like trying to save people and drowning and running. And it's really good. The Quake is the sequel to it, which is not him, but done just as well, I would say. A little cheesier, but again, it's just one earthquake in one building.
Yeah.
And then it's like trying to escape the building. And so this is all to say, I think this troll movie, I'm glad Netflix picked it up. I think people might be disappointed if they think this is going to have like 20 trolls.
No, just one.
I think it's going to be one troll.
So
and I
many
think it's gonna
trolls.
Well, there's
I think the troll's only going to show up later, and it's going to just focus on it in a really good way.
We see the troll skeletons, so I think the rest of the trolls are dead. We see like the baby troll. We get that shot.
We see a troll boneyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that look, first of all, those movies sound incredible. I will never watch them. I have such a fear of disasters and natural disasters. I've always had a phobia.
That's
and
fair.
living in California in the year of our Lord 2022 has not convinced me that I need to watch any of these movies. I couldn't watch Gravity. That's just like, it's just not for me. I couldn't watch The Revenant. I guess that's the same director. But this movie, I mean, trolls are just inherently not that scary.
No, so it's like fun. It's like a monster. It's like a Godzilla movie.
Well, yeah, and it's also like it's a force of nature, you know?
Yeah.
This seems like this director having more fun.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, he might go all out, because I'm guessing Netflix came to him after The Wave, and Tomb Raider did, fine. I hope he makes another one, frankly. And I assume they were just like, what do you got for us?
Yeah.
And fucking trolls. And I like that he does exclusively, well, not exclusively because of Tomb Raider, but I love that he just does like Norwegian Roland Emmerich, like disaster.
Well,
this is his Godzilla.
It is his Godzilla, to the point where it's like, there's going to be people speaking other languages. We hear a little bit of English, but this is primarily going to be a Norwegian film. Like, they're speaking in that language, the majority of the film.
Yeah, it's Oslo. That's the other part I love, is that it reminds me a lot of Dante's Peak, which is that whenever people make a disaster movie, one of the big instincts is, let's set it in a big city. But again, it doesn't need to be about the spectacle if you focus on the actual people. And so like the Quake is just like Norwegian city, I assume Oslo. And so like this is the same, where it's like it's not Americanized is the point. And I love that about
and keeping it to such a small, intimate scale is almost more horrifying in a way. Like, imagine Deep Impact if it was just about, was it Tia Leone and her dad?
Yes.
Like, on the shore?
Yeah. Yes.
That would have just been a much more heartbreaking movie. Like...
Yeah, I think scaled down disaster is a genre I really like. Like Melancholia.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, the world is ending in this epic way, but we're just focusing on this one group of people.
Oh, 100%. 100%, Dave. I'm there with you with that.
But this, of course, is probably going to be a fucking troll running around fighting the army, but I'm into that, too.
What army?
Yeah, this is the Norwegian army.
Norwegian army. They got one.
They got some guys.
Yeah, there's a guy. I saw that. Yeah.
They got a couple of people.
Although the final stinger of it is that guy being like, "I've shot a gun before," and the army guy goes like, "Oh yeah, where?" And he goes, "Call of Duty," and that's just a perfect line.
Some military training.
Tonally, this is completely different than The Wave, and that's why I'm like, "Oh fuck, he's going full on like Emmerich."
It's literally his Godzilla. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm gonna watch the shit out of this. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch the shit out of this.
Speaking of
December 1st.
Speaking of watching the shit out of things, Dave, let's get to the last trailer.
Pathaan, I believe, is the pronunciation. This is where is this from?
India?
India?
I assume it's from India. I'm looking it up. This is a Fuck, man.
It looks awesome. I'll just say this. I haven't seen
I looked it up. It's not associated with anybody who made RRR, as far as I
Really?
can tell. Maybe a producer. No, I mean, this is it's inevitable that the Bollywood area of cinema, I don't know if it's technically Bollywood, has been going hype for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think after RRR, they're like, okay, ramp it up. Because this is a fucking...
This looks crazy.
Man.
Yeah, this looks so good. This looks like the hypest fucking movie ever made.
I'll be honest. My boyfriend does reaction edits for some big YouTube channels, and there's a couple before RRR. Sounds like I'm doing like a seal noise. RRR that he was doing edits for, and he was like, "These movies are kind of fucking bonkers." And I was like, "Let me see." And he's like, "I don't know, Drew. They just burst into musical sequences for no reason, and then they get into fights, and it's like crazy." And I'm like, "I don't know. That sounds like my type of movie."
It's because they rule. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like this. Yeah. I've still not have seen RRR. I should. I just can't, I want to devote my full attention to it, and there's so little of my full attention these days that I want to.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
You need to.
Part
you need to watch that movie.
Part of me wants Marvel to go to the director of RRR and just give him all the money.
Oh God!
And give him Fantastic Four and be like, we're looking the other way. Do whatever you want. But they wouldn't. They wouldn't do
a
that.
Fast and Furious. Give him a Fast and Furious spinoff. Like that's what this looks like. It looks like Fast.
Just give him $100 million and let him make whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Give him $100 million and Vin Diesel. Just ship Vin Diesel over. He gets off the plane. He's like, I don't know why I'm here. And they're like, we know why.
We know why you're here.
Yeah.
We can find something for you to
do.
do.
We're making another XXX, my friend.
This movie does sort of look like a XXX type of movie because it's all about this one badass, and it seems like he's got to fight this other badass, and just all this badass stuff happens. It looks hype as shit. Yeah. I'm super excited to watch this movie.
It looks so fucking... Go watch the trailer. There's nothing we can say that'll prepare you. It's again, we've been referencing RRR, so you probably understand what we're dealing with here. Just like rocket launchers and fucking flipping around, and they're on ice at one point. And I believe it ends with a man in a jetpack. Mm-hmm. Did I see that correctly?
A winged jetpack.
Yeah.
We keep saying RRR, but like I said, like there's so many Bollywood movies that are like this, that are like contemporary. Like it's just like we just haven't been paying attention, and the production values haven't been as good, I think. But maybe they've been ramping up. Yeah, I don't know.
I think they've been.
They have been slowly.
We've watched a few that have been. We've watched a few on our network for various We Just Watched episodes. They definitely have been ramping up. And again, we don't know. If this
should be noted they're all from the same director that we watched. The Fly one,
Iga,
Bahubali. Yeah, they're all the same. Dude.
KGF was the one.
Same maniac.
KGF was the one I was thinking of. That's fucking nuts.
This director is Siddharth Anand. Apologies if I'm pronouncing that wrong. He's clearly done he's done a lot of action films. I was looking him up. So I don't know, man. I want compete. I want competing this, right? Like they have multiple Michael Bays.
I want this to be the next Marvel. I want this to be the next 10 years of movies.
I want us to just start giving all our money to India. Like I want to start all production in India. Like just go to India. Like let's just move Hollywood to India, and I think we'd be better for it.
Yep. The other director is S.S. Rajamouli.
Yeah,
who did,
he did RRR.
Yeah. And he has something. He has something lined up.
And then, the guy I was thinking of is Panish. Oh God, what's his name? I just had it. It's Panish something he did. I'm not gonna misdo anyone's name here. His name is getting it right now. His name is Prashnath Neil. And he's done a bunch. It's the most expensive Kannada film, but it's Kannada spelled with a K, so it's a different part of the world. It's a series, and go check out KGF. That movie is baller as well. Okay. Yeah.
God damn. Yeah, they're making fucking pure gold over there.
And this comes out in January apparently. So.
Oh, good. Yeah. Well, goddamn. Yeah, look up this. This one is Pathaan. Pathaan.
Yeah, just look up the trailer. It goes so hard.
Yeah, if RR was your jam, well, we have this now.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, that's it for trailers. Should we get into we should thank some more producers,
actually. Yeah, let's do that, Dave.
All right. Big thank you to Glitterous, CFO of Michael Shannon's Chocolate Factory.
Thank you.
Thank you to Davey, the Ghost of East Las Vegas, Francis.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to Oh Great, It's That Guy.
Thank you.
Thank you to Chester's Prophet.
Thank you.
Thank you to Definitely Not Guillermo del Toro.
Thank you.
Thank you to Brian, who Tom knows.
Sure do.
Thank you to Bob Grenville. Thank you. Thank you to Steven.
Thank you.
Steven. Thank you to Han Toomey, the Confused Cyborg.
Thank you so much. All right, let me swoop in here. Thank you to Asking Seven.
Thank you.
Thank you to Evil Ed 209.
Thank you.
Thank you to Manischewitz Maltov says economic solidarity is the path to paradise, comrades.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tiger George Pratt Thompson. Raindrops keep falling on my head.
Thank you.
Thank you to Dan Hackroyd.
Thanks.
Thank you to Cody Johnston's Time Machine Noise.
Pew-pew.
Thank you.
Thank you to Pete Vorpagel.
Thank you.
Thank you to follow viral TikTok superstar Jason Parchin on TikTok and buy his new book, If This Book Exists, You're in the Wrong Universe.
Thank you.
Woo!
All right. So, Henry Cavill left The Witcher.
He sure did.
He will be replaced by Liam Hemsworth.
That's a shame.
Hot take.
Yeah.
Hot take.
Yeah.
Same thing to me. It has the same.
Lateral move to you.
I just
lateral
don't.
move.
I
Okay.
like Henry Cavill a lot. I don't like that character, and I don't care for that show that much. I don't think it does anything for me. So I don't think The Witcher needs to do that much in terms of emoting or like being anything. So like they could replace him with literally a cardboard cutout of Henry Cavill, and I'd probably think it was the same show.
Okay, I intensely disagree.
Go ahead.
I think
Go ahead.
I like the show.
Mhm.
I like the books. I like the games.
There
I
we
think
go.
Henry Cavill I was not when they first announced it was Henry Cavill. I was like, that's an odd choice.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't have too many lines, but I think he brings a lot of charisma to that role.
It is true.
And Liam Hemsworth has only ever been in movies where they try to tell me that he's charismatic, and I just don't believe it. Like, I look at Liam Hemsworth, and I'm just like, I would rather be watching Chris Hemsworth.
But
So
counterpoint, isn't that what you kind of thought about Henry Cavill before The Witcher?
yeah, but now Henry Cavill has 3 seasons of The Witcher under his belt.
But like,
So, like, now I identify that character with Henry Cavill,
Fair.
and they're switching him up partway through with this new guy with his tiny little face.
how are they going to do that?
He does have a tiny little
How are they going to
face,
tell you?
yeah.
Is it going to be magic? Like, I didn't. How? Are they gonna...
I assume they'll. I mean, I have no idea.
They'll just pretend.
You could just be like, "Here he is," and just not explain it at all. You don't really need to.
I mean, that is what they'll do, right? Because it's not a different character. It'd be weird if people were like, "You look different."
Well,
It's like,
magic.
no, we're playing make believe.
But like,
It's just make
but
believe.
Yennefer first season like transformed into a kind of the same actress, but it was like a different Yennefer when she did all that magic stuff to make herself beautiful. Couldn't
It's
they just
true.
magic it? Like, it's magic.
they could.
Sure.
They could. They could
You
also
could get
just
kicked
not.
in the face by a mule.
Kicked in face.
And
They could do either thing. Honestly,
They should've-
I think it'd be really funny if he got kicked in the face and then looked like Liam Hemsworth and kept talking about it like it's a curse. Like he was.
Yes.
He's
he
so
was, like,
upset. He
mauled.
looks like Liam
Yeah.
Hemsworth.
Oh, it's
yeah.
like the guy. It's like
That'd be so mean.
Tormund in that Tormund Brisbane or whatever from the second season of The Witcher, who had that curse where he looks like a pig, and it's just like it's like, oh no, cursed with this wretched face.
Oh, Tormund Giantsbane. Yeah.
Tormund Giantsbane. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
guys. Yeah.
I have nothing against Liam Hemsworth. He's a man who's in a tough spot.
Yeah.
He's in a tough spot.
He is.
I have only seen a couple episodes of The Witcher. One day I'll watch it. It seemed good.
Okay.
I just, it was one of those situations. It just, from an outside perspective, it really seems like if you're 3 seasons in and you replace your lead character, played by Henry Cavill, who is pretty hot right now, you're in trouble. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. Maybe Liam Hemsworth will knock it out of the park. I'm not sure if it will matter. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if fans will accept it, even if he's amazing. This isn't, it's not Weekend Update where it's like, yeah, give him some time to like get used to Colin Quinn or whoever.
There's like a
It's
finite.
like, no.
You could have
There's
gotten
a
like Jamie Dornan or someone a little bit. If you're gonna get someone to do it, make it like a good stunt casting.
Yeah, Jamie Dornan would be.
Steve Buscemi.
But like, it's the issue isn't with me as a person who's a fan of the show and the franchise, etc. The issue isn't the issue isn't Liam Hemsworth, excuse me, specifically. It's what Dave was saying. It's the fact that there are already 3 seasons in. The 3rd season hasn't come out yet, but Henry Cavill already did that one. and there's a finite number of seasons because there's only 5 books, I believe. So this is going to end in 2 seasons. So it's like switching out the lead actor in the last act, basically, because there's only going to. I assume there will only be a season 4 and 5.
Yeah, I mean,
if they have their druthers and are able to complete the story, so I'm kind of with Dave. It's like, as a fan of the show, I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm going to stick around if you suddenly change the actor, unless he's fucking great. Yeah. Like, if he's really good, then I won't care.
Have you read the stuff where, like, so apparently Henry Cavill's big thing was that he wanted to honor the books.
Oh, because he's such a nerd. I love this about him.
And it was the deal breaker with him. And then there's also stories about how, like, the Witcher writers were mocking the books and stuff in the writer's room. So it sounds like this is just rumors.
It makes sense.
I don't think anybody said anything, but it seems like maybe he doesn't like the direction the show's going. Like, I can also see a combination of him being like, "Look, I'm Superman now. You're gonna have to pay me a lot more to look the other way about the story." And like, it's just a bad sign. Right?
You're saying that
it's a bad sign. It's like if the captain of the airplane you were in, like, left.
Yeah.
You know? We're like, wait, where are you going?
So what you're saying is that
what's wrong?
You're saying that I thought he was leaving for a specific reason, like he had another conflicting shoot date. You're saying that he's just left, like,
I don't think we know why.
We don't know.
I think people are speculating. Because there were just, like, there's news around that idea that he was like a deal breaker for him.
You know what?
If they stray off the books or something. I don't know. Again, I'm rumors.
I had this thing against Henry Cavill because right during the middle of Me Too or whatever, beginning of Me Too, he had this dumb statement. It wasn't the worst thing that people said, but he was just like, "Oh, like, what does it mean? Like, I can't go and, like, hug a woman on set anymore? Like, that's not allowed." And I was like, "Yeah, dude, that's kind of what that is what we're talking about." But since then, I feel like he has really redeemed himself. He's done a couple things, I feel like, that in the public eye and sort of even privately that have made me go, you know what? That was just a dumb comment, and he gets it. But more importantly, he builds PCs in his spare time. And I think that is, like,
he does.
This is the cutest, nerdiest thing that he could possibly be doing.
Paints Warhammer figures.
I love it. I love it. I love that. You look like him. And you do that?
He needs to do... I want him to do, like, a D&D with Vin Diesel or something.
Or, like, Joe DiMaggio.
Like, how many more, like... Do we get more muscle nerds that we can throw into that?
There's a D&D game that goes on that's Joe... What's his name?
Oh, that's right. Manganiello.
Yeah, Joe Manganiello. Or it has a D&D, like, campaign night with all his, like...
Big Dick Ritchie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, man.
Guys, hot guys love nerdy things. It's not fair, but they can.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Liam Hemsworth is the victim. Because, like...
again, it could be anyone.
How do you say no to it?
It could be anyone, and I'd still be like, I don't know if this is going to be any good.
Right.
You got the third Hemsworth.
It's the fact that they're replacing him.
You get the third Hemsworth, the one who looks like a big thumb, who is in Westworld as the security guard.
Oh, yeah, Papa Hemsworth.
Thumb Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Thumb Hemsworth, yeah. What the hell is his name?
Papa Hemsworth? Is that what you said?
Papa Hemsworth, that's what I called him. Luke, I think.
Luke Hemsworth. Have you guys... The most charming I've ever seen Liam Hemsworth be is if you watch that video of him and Woody Harrelson doing an interview, I guess, about some movie they were in, and the interview goes to Liam, and he goes, the interviewer asks Liam, you know, your brother's starring in something that's coming out right now, like, how exciting is that to be related to Thor? And Woody Harrelson just stops for a minute, and he goes, what? Sorry, that's your brother? And he just goes, oh my god, you guys do have the same last name. Oh my god, you guys do look alike. And Liam's like, are you serious? You didn't put together? He's like, I no.
That's so funny. Yeah. That's such a Woody Harrelson
thing to do. That is an extremely Woody Harrelson thing to do.
Yeah.
He's like, his mind is blown.
Bastard.
His mind is blown. It's like that picture of him on a spaceship where it looks like he actually thinks he's on a spaceship in Star Wars. Amazing.
Incredible. Let's move on.
All right. Second news story. Big news. Very curious about this. A24, the studio, is producing a Friday the 13th prequel series run by Brian Fuller, who did Hannibal.
He sure did, yeah.
A bunch of things.
This, like, when I first heard Friday the 13th prequel series, I probably did what everybody did. I went, what? No. Why? Like, what is it going to be about? A kid getting bullied? Is it, like,
Bates
what is
Motel.
this going to be about?
It could be Bates Motel.
It's going to be Bates Motel, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? But, like, to be honest, with these people behind it, I'm going to give it a shot.
Of course you are.
I
I did really like Hannibal, yeah.
Hannibal's my favorite show.
Yeah.
My wedding theme was Hannibal. Hannibal
Nice.
Hannibal and Carcosa, the True Detective thing in season 1. It was
Drew?
Excellent.
Uh-huh.
Drew? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was. My dad gave me for my wedding, he gave me a meat cleaver, and he signed it from Hannibal, and he left it outside of the door of the place we were staying. And
Amazing.
Yeah.
Did he bring the Barney suit?
He brought the Barney suit. He brought the Barney suit. It was, that was literally the theme. I was like, it's going to be not the theme, the aesthetic. I was like, it's going to be as Carcosa, because I didn't really love True Detective. Is Carcosa, like the deer antlers, and then it was like the deer antlers from Hannibal. That whole thing. That was my vibe.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's dope.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I will still say with this, I don't quite see the point. Like, just make more sequels.
Yeah,
That's
just make
just
more
hire
Jason
me
movies.
and Tom
Mhm.
to make more sequels.
Yes,
That's
do
all
that.
there is.
Well,
Like, you can make as many as you want. And you don't need to reboot it. You don't need to do a soft reboot or, like, just sequel the first one like they've been doing so often now.
Mhm.
Like, you don't need to fucking Halloween kills it. That nobody wants that shit. Just make Friday the 13th Part 11 Jason Goes to Hollywood.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Or whatever.
Like, that's it.
Jason
And
goes
keep
somewhere.
making them.
well,
Yeah.
Yep.
Jason Goes Hollywood.
Make them for under $1 million
Yeah.
and make them until the sun explodes.
Well,
That's it.
who owns like the? I guess if A24 is making it, they own it now. But like, I assumed it
That
was the
was-
Warner Brothers, or is it like who?
That was
So,
it was Paramount
this-
for all, that was the issue. Yeah, there was a big rights fight.
It's in this article. Apparently, it's like multiple people now
Mhm.
are producing this. There was a whole thing about that where they were like, "Are they going to get?" And it looks like everybody who owns part of the rights is involved in this,
That's gonna
which means that they can use every part of the Friday the 13th.
I
But that is still an issue.
Yeah.
imagine that the one part
Uh,
they can't use is Crispin Glover. Like it's gonna be the Back to the Future.
Oh,
movie.
they should
better.
get him back.
They better.
Do you think that means
Do
that?
his
You guys watch
fucking
Cabinet of
dance.
Curiosities?
Yes, but not.
You guys
I've
watch-
only watched the Vincenzo Natali one because it's Cube. It's the Cube guy plus David Hewlett from Cube. It's the second episode.
I've watched them all. I've watched them all, and I didn't like only one of them, and I won't say which. But like, boy, the Crispin Glover one, he is doing a voice.
Boston, I heard.
and it
He is.
great.
Boston, I heard.
Yeah. Well,
You could call it Boston.
He's doing like a patois of like New
They're
England and
yeah.
Irish.
hmm
So it's I know what they're, because it's all, there's two Lovecraft stories, and they're doing almost like Worcester accents,
What?
but like old timey. Worcester accents sound different than Boston accents if you heard them back to back. But yeah, like the Irish too thing, like it's not inaccurate, but boy, is it something.
It's super, super old time. It's like a lot of Lovecraft is written in that speech, kind of.
yeah.
I do have to
So-
give it up for. I mean, yeah, well, that's the second one I felt like too. Are they all Lovecrafty? Is that second one the Vincenzo
No, I think
Natali
there's
one?
just.
No,
I think there's
the
just two.
director of Mandy does the second to last
Mhm.
one, and boy, does he.
Uh,
That's all I'll say. Peter Weller
oh my god!
is in it, and he is just fucking killing
I need
it
to watch
in the
this.
Mandy one.
How's the Babadook one?
It-
Is that the Babadook ladies one?
Jennifer Kent. Oh, it's so good. I liked them. I did like them all, but there's just one that I was like, this is silly.
Yeah,
let's-
I didn't love the Vincenzo Natali one. I'll just be honest; it wasn't my favorite
Let's-
thing. But
Let's
Yeah.
get back to the news story.
yeah.
No.
Sorry, guys.
All right, Friday the 13th prequel. I'll watch it, but give me more sequels.
Well, here's the other thing I
Yeah.
want to put up about A24 is like you don't
Mhm.
realize how many things A24 has their hands in. They have collaborated with like a space program thing that my friend is working on. Like my friend was like a NASA engineer guy. Now he's partnered with A24 because they're making a documentary about space. But that means that they're actually involved with like a space program. Like they are involved with.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they did like John Mulaney and the Sack Lunch Bunch. They did like they're just involved in so many things that you would not think A24 is like got their little hands in.
Them in space worries me. I don't need A24 to be in space.
Yeah, get down here. What are you doing?
They
up
do
there?
Pod Save
Yeah.
America. They're involved with Pod Save America. It's so weird. Yeah, but I mean, like, why? Why is that something they need to be involved with? Just not stick to your lane, A24. I love them, and I love their whole vibe and aesthetic, and everything that they do.
We love A24.
Yeah.
We love them.
But like, what is going on there, man? They're making a USA Network TV series. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean that's what production companies do, though. Is they got their their hands in a lot of pots.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is, right? All right. Well, that's it for news stories.
One last thing.
What?
One last thing I just saw. A24 is coming out with a thing called The Curse, American TV series written by Nathan Fielder and Benny Safdie.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
What the fuck?
Showtime.
Yeah, I don't know what that's going to be.
Tense.
It's gonna be a curse.
It's going to be real tense.
Yeah.
I'm going to be having a lot of anxiety watching that.
It says the series will explore how an alleged curse disturbs the relationship of a newly married couple as they try to conceive a child while co-starring on their problematic new HGTV show, Philanthropy. Like philanthropy, but flip.
Huh.
Incredible.
Incredible. That's it.
Damn.
That's it.
So one more thing. At one point, David Bruckner was going to do a Friday the 13th.
Okay, I would have watched that.
Looks like he isn't.
That
Looks like
sucks.
he isn't anymore. Yeah, that sucks. Anyway,
Mhm.
let's thank some more producers, shall we?
Yes.
Big thank you to Del Griffith, the shower curtain fella.
Thank you.
Thank you to the Midnight Spookum, what spookums at midnight. Thank you to Exploding Runes.
Thank you.
Thank you to Andrew Howe, Deck the Halls with Blood.
Thank you.
Thank you to Vincent.
Thank you.
Vincent. Thank you to Rev MD.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Bootler, Boodleson.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tux.
Tux.
Thank you to Ricky Cilantro.
Thank you.
Thank you to Norm from Cheers.
Norm.
Thank you to No One Can Hear You Scream and Space McNulty.
Thank you. All right, let me jump in here. Thank you to your mom.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to Nolan's. Thank you to Nolan. To Be Stark Harold Mayton recommends 1989's Haunted Lawnmower Jaws ripoff Blades.
All right.
Thank you
Thank
to
you.
Andrew Drew Grant deserves more spooks McGuire.
What?
Woo.
The stories you've woven this episode, I think you have plenty of spooks.
Yeah, it's true. You are haunted, I would say.
Haunting myself.
Thank you to AJ.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tip Drizzle.
Tip Drizzle.
Thank you into the burrito mouth of madness.
Thank you.
Thank you to the ghost of Dave Thomas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to Aaron Burser.
Thank you.
Thank you to Christopher Robert Sparks, Esquire.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mackenzie Fuck Shuffling with Willem Dafoe's confusingly large dick. Chill.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you to Funky J Mostly Comes Out at Night. Mostly.
Mostly. Thank you.
And thank you to Pie Guy.
Pie Guy. We love you. Thank you.
Dave.
Ooh.
Dave.
The ghost
Dave.
of Thanksgiving.
The ghost of Dave.
Yeah.
We're reaching out to the ghost of Dave.
All right. All right.
Do you have a mask that you can put on and chase Drew into a treehouse? No.
No. No. Don't do it. It'll only end terribly for you, and I like you.
Oh, thanks.
Do you have a movie that deserves more hype?
I do.
You scum!
Yeah.
What is it?
This one is kind of. I saw this trailer and I thought, oh, this will ripen, meaning like, oh, after enough time, this will get some hype. And then I realized this comes out the day this podcast comes out, November 4th.
That's crazy. How this movie not get any hype? I've never even heard of it.
I don't fucking know. This is called Next Exit. It stars Rahul Kohli. Is that how you spell it? Rahul Kohli. From Midnight Mass and Bly Manor.
Yeah.
Katie Parker from Bly Manor.
Katie Parker.
She was also from Bly Manor. She was the
Yeah, and she was in Hill House. And if you're wondering, also Karen Gillian is in it. And she was also in a Mike Flanagan, right?
Yes, her and her sister are both in Oculus.
Oculus. So you're probably wondering who made this. It's Molly, I believe, Mali Elfman, who is the producer of Before I Wake, which is a Mike Flanagan film.
Yeah, underrated a little bit. Underrated.
Yeah. And so, like, right away, this is just fuck, man. It's currently sits at a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes with 28 reviews. So I think it's been around festivals and such. It is about the premise feels corny to me, but again, like considering everybody behind it, I'm fucking in. It's about apparently life after death has been discovered. It reminds me of the Chuck Palahniuk short story in Haunted, where like there's an afterlife. There's a proven afterlife, and they found like the existence of ghosts in an afterlife, and this company, this study in San Francisco, is looking for volunteers to commit suicide, pain-free suicide, so they can study the afterlife. And two strangers happen to end up sharing a rental car to go cross-country to do one of these suicides. And that's what it's about. It's about the two people going cross-country to kill themselves and go to the afterlife. I don't know how, but like I don't think this will just be a drama where like we never see the afterlife, because I've seen some reviews that said it portrays a not comforting portrayal of the afterlife, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, let me go back to that little synopsis. It says the widespread acceptance of ghosts has led to life beyond. And if you notice, Karen Gillan, who's playing the scientist, sounds a lot like Elizabeth Holmes. So the idea that this might just be a con, like she
bullshit,
might be some bullshit.
The trailer shows like really spooky images of like cameras detecting ghosts and shit. But you're right, it could be a con. That's amazing if it is. Or
like con or some unexplained phenomena. And the idea is that the scenes we're seeing of the afterlife might just be dream sequences or something like that. Because it doesn't seem like the movie is about like them as ghosts, right? It's about like their journey.
It doesn't. Well, it's definitely about the journey. Yeah.
Well, here's my thought. This movie, or at least this trailer, reminded me a lot of that movie Wrist Cutters.
Yep.
Which Dave and I covered. I suspect they're already dead.
Oh.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Oh, interesting. They're playing like a loop of their last days, like they're redoing it or something?
Something like that, yeah. Anyway, that's what I suspect. But I'd actually been hearing about this for a while.
Oh.
No shit.
Just as it's been coming out and showing in festivals over the past year. And I've heard only good things. And I like Raul Coley a lot. Obviously, I like everybody that's involved. I didn't realize it was so deep in the Flanagan wheelhouse. I had no idea Karen Gillan was in it.
Right, it's elbow deep in Flanagan.
So I'm like super interested in watching this movie. I mean, for sure.
It also reminded me.
Well, you'll get to today.
Yeah.
Okay. On streaming.
Shit, it's
coming out on streaming.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. It's not just theaters. You don't have to go to some stupid theater. You get to just fucking turn on the television.
The idea that it's also like that, I never saw it, but the Gerard Carmichael movie, On the Count of Three, that came out last year, or about the two guys who want to commit suicide, and they take a road trip together, and it's just about them. Yeah, design.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah. Christopher Abbott and Gerard Carmichael make and he directed it. It's a idea that they have a suicide pact, and they've decided they don't want to live anymore, and they just take a road trip to like have their couple final days. That seems like what this is, like in the sense it's not mumblecore, but it's like this almost like indie sweet drama. And if it turns out there is no ghost element, that is again like maybe there is ghost, but maybe it's more of a MacGuffin kind of situation, like that would work for me. Like I feel like the heart of the story isn't necessarily the afterlife, but Flanagan does that really well. Flanagan does like grief as a metaphor for ghost as a metaphor for grief. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. This, by the way, isn't horror. It's described as horror adjacent. So I assume it's gonna be like, it's gonna be like a ghost story. Yeah. Not ghost story, but a ghost story.
Right. A ghost story,
where it's dealing with gothic elements and supernatural, possibly supernatural stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I'm super fucking curious about this.
Well, because in this world, the existence of ghosts wouldn't make it a horror movie. It would make it the opposite, right? The idea that like this would be a very uplifting experience. Like they wouldn't have to be alive anymore. They could be with their loved ones, and they've confirmed existence of ghosts. The idea is that like I don't know if these ghosts are like what we think they are. Like that they're just like your dead loved ones just walking around having like, regular lives in the afterlife. I mean, that can't be it.
I don't know. I just want to see it. It looks good.
Gonna watch
Next exit. Yeah, watch the trailer, folks, or just go on your
Or just watch it. It's available now.
Yeah, it's right behind you.
It's under the bed! That's a sode, guys. We did it.
Oh, no.
Drew, thank you so much for coming on.
Can I recommend a movie? Can I recommend one that people have not seen that much?
You can do whatever you want.
Okay, so there's that, I'm not sure if you guys have talked about Resurrection, that Rebecca Hall movie.
Oh,
I need to see that.
I need to watch it.
That's another a movie that just took such a hard left. There's no way you can guess what's going to happen in this movie. It's her and Tim Roth. It is weird as fuck. It's the weirdest fucking movie. So go check that out.
I need to see that, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Also, do you have other things you'd like to plug or say to the world?
Oh, yeah. Guys, I do shows on my YouTube channel. It's just Video Drew. I go by Video Drew on all social media, so check that out. But I'm also like Drew Grant now, which is a real person who also exists in the world. I've have an article in the most recent issue of Fangoria interviewing Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. So that's cool.
I can't wait for Something in the Dirt.
Oh, that movie, that's what it's about. I did 2 interviews with them about that movie and just their extended universe that they have of their own they call it Shitty Carl Cinematic Universe. They're awesome. I can't wait for their Loki. So go check that out. I've been doing more stuff with them recently. I do, I write for Honest Trailers sometimes, so check those out if you don't already. And I do some stuff over at Ranker. That's fun.
You do.
I do some stuff over there. And then I'm the editor of a site called .la. So check that out as well. And then that's all I do right now. That's it.
All right.
Yeah.
Dave, why don't you tell them what we do?
Everybody check that out. We have a Patreon. Patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. GAMEFULLY. Unemployed. For just $5 a month, you get access to a bunch of exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and Spiel Boys! We also, every Friday night, we watch movies with our patrons.
Sure do.
Lots of fun movies. We have a great time. Always good movies, never bad movies.
Quills.
Never bad. Never bad movies.
We also have a store. Head over to GamefullyUnemployed.com. You can find a link to our Teespring store, where we have all kinds of cool original artwork and designs you can get on t-shirts, mugs, stickers, posters, all sorts of things. So slap your masked peepers onto that.
Never bad movies.
Never bad movies. They're always great. Say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Good night,
Bye.
everyone.
Our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can follow him on Twitter at @thecorlew, CORLEW, and find more music at shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our channel artwork is produced by Michael Vincent Bramley. You can find more of his artwork at instagram.com/mvbramleyart. Our episode artwork is produced by Justin Brown. You can follow him on Twitter at @JustinTBrown, and find more of his artwork at artnessbyjustinbrown.com and justinbrown.info.